in the adoption phase.
Right on.
But this system is just growing, is just going crazy. It's because it's a lifestyle brand.
I love
It's a
it.
lifestyle brand. So let's uh, let's work on let's work on each other this morning. Is there a topic, a discussion point, something to make everyone better today?
What is everybody doing for the week to feed their pipeline?
I am. That's a great question. What I have done is I went out and purchased 200 blank note cards. You can pick them up at Walmart. You can pick up 24 cards at Walmart for $4.99, and they're really nice looking cards. They're blank on the inside, and I'm writing 4 handwritten notes per day. It may not seem like a lot, but if you want to sit down and try it, write down 4 handwritten notes. And these are quick, personalized notes. I say the same thing generally to all my past clients, just with a little twist of lemon and a little twist of lime on each one, making it a little different and personalized. And I send them out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow that up with a phone call here in a couple of months. I know this time people are thinking and always thinking, oh, it's springtime. And so every year about this time, I write handwritten notes. And then I make a follow up call probably sometime in June or July. And again, they're getting monthly emails. So that's how I keep my pipeline stocked. If I wanted to grow exponentially, I would enhance that with door knocking. Yeah, I'm 53 years old. I would fricking door knock. Um, there's not a lot of for sale by owners to go around, but I would make sure to touch every single for sale by owner. If I wanted to spend money, I would invest in online leads. If I wanted to spend more money, I would invest in an ICA, an ISA. So there's a um, if I wanted to sort of wait and cook, I would do videos and wait for people to contact me as well. So there's a lot of different variety of ways. But if I wanted to exponentially improve and increase my pipeline, um, I would immediately go out and door knock about 2 hours a day. And I'd find people to talk to, and then find people to do business with later. Or I would buy the business. I'd spend $2,000 or $3,000 a month on advertising. Pretty simple.
Marie, what are you doing this week to feed your pipeline?
I answer my phone. No, I need to get note cards out too. But I try to make sure I answer my phone. It's funny how those calls come in that, hey, we need to talk to you. I got a couple of them last week. So I
Mm.
also just sat down and started redoing my newsletter. So I need to get a newsletter out next week when we get back from the conference because I'm finding out that that really is very productive for me.
Marie, do you snail mail your newsletters?
I do.
Uh,
I have a really
do
nice
you,
one that's from the Lonus
okay,
group, and so I
yeah,
have my
yeah.
database that
Hmm.
it goes out to, and it just refreshes their memory that I'm still doing this and I'm still here and available for their questions.
Is this a quarterly or a monthly?
It used to be monthly, and then it
Okay.
became now it seems yearly, so I need to
Hmm.
make it at least quarterly.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
I mean, that's the best thing I've ever done for my business was that newsletter. And then, of
Good.
course, I do cards to people. Like today, I've got to do a note card just to the people that called me that I've got their house listed. Thank you for reaching out.
Hmm.
I really appreciate working for you guys.
Hmm. Hmm. That's
So,
good. That's
and
good
all of
stuff.
them have friends and family that are going to want to buy and sell.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I find that to be true too. My past clients do have friends.
They want to buy and sell.
They're actually nice people.
Uh-huh. You know what? I would much rather spend a bunch of time with my past clients than I would door knocking. And that's
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Megan, What you got going brewing this week for feeding your pipeline? If you have a quick sec. Right along to the next square. Mike, what you got going this week to feed your pipeline?
Of course, I've been working on the sink, cleaning up my contacts within my contacts and leads from everything I pulled from my phone over to my OneSuite. Got the flyers that I'm still going out and door knocking and salting. And continuing to shake hands and pass out cards and trying to get better at getting information when I hand out a card. Because the card that you just hand out is almost worthless if you're just tossing them out there.
Well, it's like a social media post.
Yes. But, as Jim has shown, with regular enough social media posts, you can pull down business. And so that is absolutely something I have to start doing and get good at. That's something that, yeah.
Rob, what are you doing for feeding your pipeline, keeping your pipeline fed and healthy?
Well, I am having a huge decrease in leads. So one thing that I'm doing is I'm going to be calling it all the expireds in Snohomish, King, Skagit County from 2020, 2019, and then I'll go back 5 years. That's one thing that I'm working on this week for the near future.
Good.
I've got my UpNest profile set up. I'm looking into how I can perfect that. I got 3 leads this week from that. I submitted videos and all that stuff. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I just use common sense to navigate through it. But I'm going to get my profile set up on HomeLight. Let's see, UpNest is done. So Clever, and there's another one I can't think of it, but there's 4 of them, and see if I can get those perfected and generate leads off of those.
For those that are wondering, what are you doing out here building nests with those other up nests and all these others? In a brief, real quick description, what type of platforms are these?
These are where where sellers go online and basically pick agents that they want to interview, and then you probably battle it out over a commission, is what I'm guessing. Maybe. Okay. But you build a profile, and then when you get a lead, you can have so I've learned that you can have a pre-filled template that answers they ask the same questions every time the program does. Okay. And then I just send a video. They say if you send a video introducing yourself and talking, it increases your odds of maybe getting an appointment by 200%. And so I'm not shy about that. I just turn on the video and do it in my office real quick and introduce myself. Yep. But yeah, that's what it is.
Cool. Good.
And the newsletters thing is a good idea. One thing I was thinking is I need to, with my license move, I need to create some type of card that says, "Hey, I'm at Realty One Group. Here's my new info, blah, blah, blah," and send it in the mail, snail mail style. That's one thing that's on my list to do also. So.
Well, knowing you for how I know you, you probably should hire somebody to do that for you, Rob, or it's probably not going to get done.
I know.
That's huge, though. And the thing is, too, Rob, you can say, I joined this new firm and I am, invigorated and excited and, whatever you want to say. But let them know you're excited and you'd love to chat with them. People call you.
Unfortunately, I'm the opposite of you, and I'd rather go door knock than spend time with my spirit. So.
Hey, that's why there's all of us in the business, right?
I love this diversity, the diversity, because there's not one channel that fits, all boats. And the common thread is we are going to broker business in real estate, either focusing on centers of influence, working online leads, door knocking, expireds, FSBOs, a combination of all three. Depends on where your goals are at and how deep your pipeline is. And Jim brought up a really excellent point, and I'm glad we're having this discussion, because if you take what you want in terms of your annual goal, that's the number of leads you should probably have in your A, B, and C categories. And that is leads from 0 to 12 months that have expressed outwardly an interest in doing something. So if you have a goal to sell 36 homes, you should always carry about 36 leads in a variety of different classifications, A, B, and C. Should always have 36 in there. And if you're down a little bit and you're taking a look at your quarterly review, because you should be thinking about spending a day or two in solitary confinement and going over your numbers, or having somebody alongside you review where you're at for the first quarter. And if you have a goal to sell, 12 to 15 homes, and you're looking at your pipeline and you have a 3 to 5, guess what? You're on track to sell 3 to 5. And if that's not satisfactory for you, then get your ass out and find ways to fill up your pipeline. If you don't have a center of influence, that's not going to work. If you don't have a large bank of money you can invest for online leads, that ain't going to work. And so what you have is who you are. And so get out there and bust your tail and fill up your pipeline. Or figure out something else. That is the cold hard truth to this business and how people survive and have longevity in this business is lead generation. Coach, how are you keeping your pipeline full? Because I know you're still in production.
It's the irony is that I've wanted to. Today was the first day, actually. I want to start blocking my time and dedicating my time to my business, and so I picked up a book, Reverse Selling, and so I wanted to. One of the things I don't do well is I don't dedicate. I don't focus. I don't turn off the world and just focus on this activity to fill my pipeline. I'm really scattered. I'm really all over the place in some regards. But I'm at a different point in life too. I'm semi-retired, and I tell myself that, but yet I enjoy real estate. And at the same token, I want to make myself better, not necessarily to be out drumming up business, but I want to make myself better as a coach for the next generation. I want them to be at their A game. And so if I'm at my A game, then I can expect them to be at their A game. And so
that makes sense.
I do a newsletter, which I still have to do this month. I'm all over social media. Probably need to knock that off because I'm at it almost too much, in my opinion. And then I do like I like the idea of writing a personal note to my past fear. I like it's something I've never done, but it's a personal touch that I can't, the impact of getting a note, a handwritten note in the freaking mailbox, you just as well put a gold bar in their mailbox because it's got the same value.
It's extremely, extremely personal.
Yes. You just don't get that anymore.
And I don't have anything negative to say about send out cards. Okay. I have nothing negative to say, but that's not handwritten. When you take a little bit of time to put your address on the outside of the envelope as well. That person sees that it was, you took time out of your day and you thought about them. And that really means something to people. It really, really does.
So I just saw something on something I get, like spring tips for your home, right? So that would almost be a good reason. Hey, I was thinking of you when I saw this, and I wanted to share these in your, home that you purchased last year or 2 years ago or whatever. It would give me an excuse to send the note to, right? I have this to share.
I used to do some really funny stuff, surprisingly, me saying that. I would, I bought a box of sun-kissed raisins. It was a great big one, great big. And I put a raisin inside of each one of my handwritten notes. And I go, FYI, I'm out raising business. Can you help me? And, they'd open it up and they'd see a raisin in there. And of course it'd say, hey, thanks, really appreciate your help. And says, but seriously, I'm out raising business and can you help me? Who do you know? Question mark, my phone number, signature. And as weird as that may sound, I also, there's a psychology called lumpy mail, meaning when you pick up an envelope, you can feel something inside of it. That's why credit card companies, you say, hey, you've now qualified, and they put a fake card in there. You can feel the card and you want to I want to see what that card looks like. Even though you're not going to apply, you open it up and look at the card anyways. It's really interesting, unless you have the mental fortitude just to rip it in half and recycle it. Most of the time, sometimes I'll catch myself just opening it up to look at the card. I have no intention on applying, but they got me to open up the card. I'm like, oh, you got me. And so another times I'll put a little penny, in there. And so they'll get the mail and they'll feel that penny roll, in there. And they're like, this is interesting. That kind of lumpy mail always gets opened first. And they'll open it up and I'll put penny for your thoughts. Who do you know? I'm out looking for some business. Things like that. I've put I've put little paper clips in them before and say, hey, we need to stick together. I keep things held together. Let's stick together. I've put rubber bands in there. Let's band together, things like that. But that's who I am. And so I express myself that way. That may not be for somebody else. That's freaking really weird. Okay, well, I like weird and I like having money versus being normal and not having money. That's sort of me.
You still do pop-bys and stuff, Todd?
I never did Popeyes.
Oh, really?
And I never did Popeyes. I have never done client appreciation days, and I'm really bad at gifting after sale. I always wanted to be one of those agents, but I just was never me. I do other things pretty well, but I don't do those things very well at all.
It certainly hasn't affected your success. There you go.
Well, you find something and you stick with it. Rochelle does a lot of that gifting.
That was Denise.
Yeah.
Hey, Jose, we're sharing what activities we're doing this week to pump up the pipeline.
Just following up from people from the open house and still door knocking around my hot listing. Yeah, just a lot of follow up from me.
How many folks did you have come through your open house?
I had about 20 folks combined for Saturday and Sunday.
Right on.
Excellent. I have so tell us a little bit about that success from open house. Now granted, when we hear a success story about an open house, we have a tendency of thinking every open house is like this, but it's not. We understand that it's not. You're not going to have opportunities the ones that Jose is just going to talk about here in a second, if you're not out doing them on a regular basis. Sometimes it's a hit and miss. And when you hit, and it's great. You forget about the misses. I mean, professional baseball players get a hit about 30% of the time, and they get paid a lot of money. And so those hits wipe away all the strikeouts. So this hit means that he has done multiple other open houses without this level of success. But this is going to be a testimony that is, if you do this and you're consistent, you're going to have these types of successes. So I set it up a little bit for you, Jose. So tell us a little bit what you're getting out of that open house.
Yeah. So typically I try to do open houses on my own listings. They see my sign, they see my face, and then they see me again inside, and they're like, okay, this guy's like pretty active, right? And I just let them know, hey, this is my listing. And obviously I've been there multiple times, so I know a lot of the property, because people ask some weird questions about it, like what's this, or what's that, or what's the association, what does it cover, blah 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 blah, and then I answer it right away, and they're like, okay. So, and then let them know about the inspection report and everything about the property. And it's just, buyers just have questions like that, and when you sound intelligent and smart about it, then they feel more comfortable. And then next thing, I mean, I don't really ask if they have an agent or not. I just ask the right questions, whether, hey, have you been looking for a while? Hey, how did you find out about my open house first? And then I just take charge, and then I take out the check-in sheet, and then I just say, hey, what's a good name to check you in? And then what's a good phone number? What's a good email? I just go straight at it. And then, hey, how'd you find out about the open house? And I like to be funny up front, because Todd, being funny and making them laugh, makes them feel more comfortable. And then I was like, shoot, I didn't do a good job for my signs then, or I did a good job of my signs then, and they'd like usually like laugh or something like that, or But anyways, and then we go throughout the questions, and then I typically ask, and I got this from Todd, to ask them whether they're gonna put an offer in. I never leave my open house without me asking if they're going to put an offer in. And then if they do, or if they say, I'll reach out to my agent, I'm like, no, you're going to write it up with me, so you get a better shot. And then and then they get some thinking. They're like, okay, I don't know whether they have a strong relationship with that agent or not.
Yes, you do.
I just go straight for it. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? And
the worst that's going to happen is they go back and use their agent.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, I really love my agent. Do you love your agent more than you would love living in this house? Ask the freaking question. Oh, I could never say that. Well, why not? If they really love their agent, okay, they're going to use their agent. People sometimes often say, well, I love my agent, I'm working with an agent, just to get you off their freaking case. And they may have an internet agent that sends them something that sent them out there to drive over. I don't know. You don't know the scope and depth of that. So I really want to, I really love my agent. Well, do you love your agent more than you would love living at this house? I can help you get in the best position to get this home.
And they get some thinking. They're like,
oh, it gets them thinking is right.
I asked that, and then the guy's like looking at his wife like.
So just, this is just my opinion though. You also don't want to be that agent that gets the reputation that all the other agents go, oh, he's going to try to steal all my clients. That doesn't promote good feelings within the industry. And if somebody is submitting an offer to you, if I find out an agent's like deliberately tried to steal my client, that they came in and said, hey, this is who I'm working with, it doesn't make you happy, right?
Well, that's why I always ask the right questions, and knowing whether they have a strong bond or not. Yes. And like with these guys, I think they just met them for ref, and they just showed like one house or so they had no relationship with that. So that's why I jumped in.
That's totally different. Yeah.
No, if I had somebody that was able to say, I'm working with Marie at Realty One Group in the Marysville office, I know right there, back off. That's enough for me to I'm not going to push it.
Yeah, if they come in and they say, I'm working with such and such, and here's their business card,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Well, how did you come out today? Well, I was on Redfin and I talked to an agent. They told me to come on out here. You can sort of get a feel
Totally
for
different.
that, and when to go in there and ask that freaking hard closing question. And you know, so what else happened, Jose?
Yeah, so they gave me a call and they were just thinking about it, and they're like, yeah, I think we want to try that out. And they've been shopping for a while, and they think they liked me. They liked how I carried myself, and the wife said, you know, that yeah. And then from there, we put an aggressive offer, and they thought, and then we put it in, and we got it under contract. So
Good job.
So he got the buyer
thank
and
you.
the seller.
yes, sir.
Very nicely done.
That's awesome.
So how many
Yeah.
offers did you end up
Yeah,
getting?
brother.
What was that?
How many offers did you end up getting?
2, and I scared away, I think, another 2. I was like, you got to be at this price range to compete. And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'll let my buyers know then.
Yeah. You need to be in this weight class.
Yeah, and that's what I do. So I get a lot of tips from you, Todd. I'm like, this, you know, I'm like, hey, do you watch UFC or boxing? You know, you got to be in a weight class. You know, you don't see a heavyweight go against a lightweight. They'll get crushed.
So I mean, if you want to jump in the ring and compete, this is the weight class you need to be at. I can't tell you whether or not what's the best step for your fiduciary responsibilities, but I can tell you right now, if you come in at 125 pounds, fighting at 125 pounds against a 225-pound fighter, good luck.
Yeah.
You won't make it past the first 3 seconds of that round.
Real quick, as we come to the end here, Doug, what you got going on this week that you're doing to fill your pipeline?
I'm working on getting an open house this weekend. That's my plan. So I'm impressed with what Jose did there, getting the double dip. That's a sweet deal. So
I wrote some notes from what Jose said. He puts his face on the sign. Okay. So even if you have open house and it's not your listing, maybe you should put your face on your open house signs.
I do. I have my face on my
Okay.
open house sign.
With your face on the open house sign, know the surrounding community, research the property, ask open-ended questions, build a rapport, and then take control. Those are the 5 tips that I got that I wrote down from Jose.
So one of the things that I like to do, I like to go look at other people's open houses and see how they run their open house. And I shit you not, it blows my mind when I ask how much are the dues, HOA dues, or how many. I'll even ask a stupid simple, how many square feet. Do the homework on the property. Know what the hell you're selling. Oh, it's not my listing. That's not an excuse. Know your product. I agree.
And when they ask you a question and you don't know it, it just turns it off. I could just see it.
Boom.
You know? They're like,
Instantaneous. Totally
but
agree.
like, when you know everything about the property in and out, like up and down, side to side, is just like, okay.
1.2 miles to Safeway.
Yeah.
But if they ask a question that
People
you
ask-
don't know, say, you know, how thick is the insulation in the attic, maybe. You go, hey,
I have a ladder.
I can find that out. Give me your phone number, right? I'll find it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just, hey, what's the closest grocery store here? I'm like, yeah, I mean, Costco's about 10 minutes that way. It's here. I don't know. Some people just, they'd be surprised.
That's good. That's really good.
And I might add that Jose got this listing by door knocking from when he was selling the neighbor. He sold the neighbor across the street. And so door knocking your neighborhood. There you go. I mean, the man
Door
got
knock
another
around your-
listing.
Door knocker around your open houses.
Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah.
This is basic real estate 101. If you want to build your business around that business. I'll admit it. There have been open houses that I didn't do the door knocking around because I was flat out too lazy or I wasn't prepared.
No, totally agree. And I'm the open house king. I never walked my neighborhood because I was too lazy. Yeah.
I've ran into Todd. I ran into Todd over the years here and there, but
You did.
In 2017, I door knocked almost the whole hillside of Marysville.
Yep.
And I door knocked on Todd's door. I think he just came home. Didn't you have a silver Mercedes back then?
Yeah, I had a big long white Mercedes.
Or a white one. Yeah, it was a white. Yeah, and I remember knocking on Todd's door.
Yep. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I thought I said, did you just? It looks like you're all swollen. Did you just get back from the gym? Rob is ripped, by the way. You may not see it, recognize it. He is ripped.
I had some health problems, but yeah, I used to be.